Hey! You! Listening to this podcast right now! Do you want to hear a fucking podcast about anything and everything? Yeah. Like movies, music, television, and more?
Oh my god.
Well, you've come to the right place. Yes. Subscribe to Journey into Comics Network, and you get Podcastrophe, hosted by me, Dick. Why not throw a couple bucks to the Patreon? It's your choice. Yeah. This is a Podcastrophe.
That sounds so awesome.
The following is a Journey into Comics Network production.
This is a tasty burger.
You ever tried shawarma? There's a shawarma joint about 2 blocks from here. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
Do you want some coffee, Mr. Tully?
Do I? Yes, have some. Yes, have some.
Is butter a carb? Will you stop eating?
We elves try to stick to the 4 main food groups. Candy, candy canes, candy corns, and syrup.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
May I have the envelope, please?
And the Oscar for Best Picture is presented to...
And the Oscar goes 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 to...
And the Oscar goes...
And the Oscar goes...
And the Oscar goes to...
The Oscar goes to...
The Oscar goes to... And the Oscar goes to...
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Foodies Watching Movies. This is Season 2, Episode 14. I am your host, Nate. Today we are in Studio AP. Joining me is AP. Welcome to the show.
Good to have you in my neck of the woods.
Weird to be in your neck of the woods, but I brought the caravan up today. Also joining us is the co-founder of Foodies Watching Movies, Miss Veronica. How's it going?
Going good.
Good, awesome. Great to have you back, as always.
Well, thanks.
I'm glad that you
I'm glad to be here, even though it's getting late.
I'm glad you still choose to do the show with us. Sometimes we're questionable. Also joining us today, introduced by her laugh, welcome back, Lauren. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I'm glad you're doing well. So, AP, let's just get down to it, man. You said, guys, March 4th, it's the Oscars. We're a food podcast about movies. We should do some shit. Like, let's make some plans. So we just had a party. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
On the mic, though.
Yeah, it'd help if I had it on the mic.
This was like the first time that Foodies has come up to your neck of the woods, so thanks for hosting us tonight.
Yeah, it was great to have you guys up here.
Thanks. We had some good pizza. You had some good suggestions.
Shout out to you for making that drive like every 2 weeks, by the way.
Yeah,
totally.
Like, for real, we've decided that AP loves this podcast the most because he drives the farthest to get to it.
Yeah, totally.
It's not too bad in the morning.
No, I bet that'd probably be an easier drive.
I'm not looking forward to this one tonight. This one's going to be a long one.
It's a dark.
I gotta teach in the morning.
It'll actually only be about an hour of a drive because traffic's going to be so much less. Right. So,
All right.
It won't be that bad.
Well, yeah, we're happy to be here. Thanks for hosting.
So, man, AP, you're like, we're doing this thing. We're going to get together. We're going to watch the Oscars. And I was like, fuck. We also have another thing we have to do, and actually it also drops today on Pi Day. We'll get to that.
I love that.
Our Age of Ultron review for the Road to Infinity War, exclusively on Patreon. You got to give us $3. You give us $3 on the Patreon, you get the exclusive content like the Road to Infinity War, and we just reviewed Age of Ultron, so we just got that done earlier in the night at your place.
Like right before cameras rolled on the Oscars.
Yeah, it was the Oscar pre-show, the red carpet.
Yeah.
Which we originally planned to do like an actual Oscars pre-show episode, but...
We did, but we were running...
Food became more important because it was delicious.
To eat, and we actually did something fun today. Nate did a blind taste testing of our pizza selection.
Because I think...
Did we determine which slice, which pizza you like better? Was it Illuminati's?
Yeah, so it kind of happened like this. You know, I was like, oh, I've never had an actual Chicago deep pizza like that. Like
deep dish.
Ever. Not Well, I mean, I guess I've had Aranello's in Highland, but that's not like a Chicago-based pizza company, you know?
Right.
So,
and we don't typically order deep dish because we usually get thin crust.
Totally. Also true. Shout out to Monocle's and House of Pizza for their thin crust pizzas.
I miss Monocle's.
Respectively, I love Monocle's so much.
I'm not like I can jam on Monocle's.
It's all about that sauce.
I like the sauce. It's nice. I mean, Nate has like a fucking ketchup bottle filled with it in his fridge.
No, it's actually a Monocle's bottle.
I know it is a Monocle's bottle. Believe me, I know. And your dad has like gallon jugs.
He does. He goes to Monocle's and buys the big ass
like
gallon jug for real. He really does in his fridge because we use it so much.
I just always feel like it's so dry. Like it's so always overcooked to me. Like there's never any sauce on it, and it's just like cracker thin crust.
Well, it's because they used to back in the day of Monocle's Pizza. Have you ever had Monocle's? Probably not. You're not from Central Illinois area. I've not really spent a lot of time in that region. So Monocle's is like a regional thing. Personally, it's one of my favorite pizzas of all time. It's just kind of its own thing. But they have this red sauce.
You even worked there, right?
Yeah, I did. And I have stories. It's technically like French dressing, but
different.
Thicker, a little creamier, I guess. And they call it sweet and tart. And you actually put it on your pizza.
It's really good.
Or dip it. It's weird because you wouldn't expect something like that to go on pizza, and then you eat it, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is heaven!" Can I have
really good?
But it's only good on thin pizza.
Correct.
You couldn't put it on a thick crust.
I have, but it's different because the breadiness of the crust makes it different. And then you're just tasting like heavy, like Monocle's sauce in a weird way. But yeah, I also worked there. That is very true. It was the first job I ever got fired from.
Oh, damn.
And it was...
And you're still shouting them out as the best.
And crazy story, it had nothing to do with me. My manager was fucking around one night, and because he wasn't taking his job seriously, we ended up being there till 2 a.m. They said it was my fault because I wasn't doing the dishes, which is entirely not true. So the head manager was just like, oh, well, you're the new guy. I'd only been there like 2 months at that point.
Oh.
So they just cut me. It was like, whatever. And I was like fucking 15 or something. I don't give a shit.
Right.
You know, I'm not a pizza guy. But, man, you learn so much there. I loved eating, like, the freshly cooked bread. Because they used to do it at Monocle's. They would roll the dough out the day before on everything. So you'd have an entire roll of all your breadsticks from one day before that would sit a whole 24 hours before use. That would let the dough really breathe.
Was it all pre-made shit, or was it all homemade?
No, homemade. You put your mix in. You'd have a dough team that would run the dough in the morning. They would come in. They had the recipes down and everything. You knew how many pans to run and whatnot.
A big kitchen.
It's a big back room, yeah, and it's really neat back there. But so the stuff would sit for 24 hours before it would be used, so it was like perfect when it was cooked. Now they use it as soon as they make it, like day of, they're using it. And that's what they call a white top. Used to only get a white top if Monocle's ran out of pizzas. Like, they'd have to make dough that night, like, in the middle of every fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. So they didn't have enough time to, like, rise or whatever.
And then now whoever they have it that's running it doesn't give that much of a fuck, so they always have white tops because they're too lazy to set up a dough team for the day before. So
sad.
It totally changed it. But today we did this cool taste test.
Right. We had I went and picked up Giordano's and Luminati's, which is two pretty big Chicago staples of pizzas. And usually if you're from the area, you're either for one or for the other, or for one of the other ones that are out there.
You can't be both.
Right. So people pick sides. They're pretty adamant about that. It's like sports teams.
Yeah, you're either into Luminati's, you're either into Gino's East, or you're either into Giordano's.
Yeah, and I've still not tried Gino's East.
I've had Gino's East. It's good.
It's different. I think because it's like corn crust or cornmeal crust or something.
Yeah, their crust is good. I like the crust. But like I said, I'm not a deep dish person. I like thin crust. So
you guys A-B'd the plates, and I didn't have any clue what was going on.
I put an A on Luminati's, and I put a little B on Giordano's, and then I gave you a plate with an A and a B, and then you had to blind taste test it.
Right, and you actually guessed what they were wrong when you decided which one you liked more.
Correct.
So what was your decision?
Well, I thought it was Giordano's, but it was actually Lou Malnati's. It was
That was your favorite.
Pizza A, yes. I absolutely loved the tomatoiness of the sauce. Like, they used real crushed tomato.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. Like, the cheese was really nice. Like, all the flavors were good. Does Lou Malnati's have that buttery crust you were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the shit right there. Like, I was all about that life. So yeah, I was really grateful that was a thing we could do, because experiencing like that for the first time. Now I know I'm a Lou Malnati's guy.
There you go.
We'll have to go back. Let's move into. Oh yeah, you made a drink for today, dude.
I did. I was trying to think about this for a few days, trying to figure out what ingredients I had and what I needed to pick up. And I was like, oh, like a blue drink for the Shape of Water would be kind of interesting. And I actually circled back, but we'll get to that later.
The drink of water.
The drink of water.
That's what it was.
It was a blue curacao, raspberry vodka, some Sprite, some lime juice, and a little bit of rum.
Rum.
I put the rum.
7-Up.
Oh yeah.
It was sort of a little alcoholic, but it was delicious. And
Yeah.
threw a couple blueberries in there for good measure. And then you doctored up a little bit your way, adding some more lime.
I wanted to kind of play on the recipe a little bit, and you said you were like, I was trying to get that color of the water, and I was like,
For the
okay,
Shape of Water.
okay,
Since it's an Oscar party.
all right, I'll play with some watercolors. So I did it kind of in the image of like what I saw it as, and I thought it was all right. I think that yours was better by like a different reason, because it was a little more alcoholic and the flavors were kind of crisper. I don't know. What do you guys think of the mixed drinks?
I think they were both good.
The drink of water.
Drink of water.
Yeah.
I thought they were good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, but when I do, I like to drink free shit, and then I liked that.
Yeah, I wanted to get it to be layers like blue and green because of Shape of Water. There was a lot of blue and green.
It would have been kind of nice to have a little drop of like grenadine, and you could have made him like shark bites.
Oh, his bloody fingers.
Yeah.
I had
like grenadine would have cut through that. And been,
I had
like,
grenadine in my cart and I put it back. I should have got it.
Damn.
Damn.
Always go for the grenadine when you get the blue shit.
When in doubt, grenadine it out.
Yeah.
I guess that's a thing. That's
I
not
went
really a
lime
thing.
juice grenadine. I'm like, I'm just get lime juice. It's fine.
Totally going to divert for a second because I brought a bag of Szechuan sauce from McDonald's.
Yeah, so I discovered that on the table. I was like, why is there a bag full of like 20 Szechuan sauces from McDonald's?
It's only 10.
I thought they were packets.
What?
I thought they were packets.
Well, check it out.
Look.
Yeah,
What
it's
do you mean
interesting. I really
packets?
thought like wasn't the original draft batch of them packets?
No,
they
it's
were
the
always
same. It was always that.
How much you spend on those sauces?
$3.21 for 12 packets.
You got 12
it was
Szechuans.
crazy too
I thought they were free.
No. I was gonna buy nuggets and then I forgot on the first day that it came out, so I went back the next day to McDonald's just to buy the sauce. And
Is the sauce your jam?
You know, it's different. I like it. It's the Szechuan sauce, kind of teriyaki-y, a little soy-y, you know. I love the packaging of it, though. It's really vibrant. It's not the Rick and Morty packaging, because they had like the Rick and Morty package that had their faces actually on the sauce. That was the ultra-limited run. They're rare as fuck. But you would have never guessed how hard it was to get 12 Szechuan sauces from a McDonald's. Because I rolled through the drive-thru and I was like, hey, can I just get like, you guys got the Szechuan sauce? Lady on the thing's like, yeah, I got the Szechuan sauce. Do you want to order anything? And I was like, I'll just, you know what? Can I just, how much is a sauce? It's going to be like 25 cents. And I was like, 25, 4, 8, 12. Yeah, I'll just go with 12 sauces. We'll spend $3. She's like, $3.21, pull around. I sat for like 4.5 minutes. 3 different people came to the window like, what did you order? The Szechuan? You want this Coke? No, I didn't order a Coke. I want fucking Szechuan sauce. Give me the fucking, it's 12 sauces. You count to fucking 12. You put them in the bag. You hand them to me. It's not that hard. And it was hard. I had 2 different people go, what did you order?
You go to like the most notoriously awful McDonald's.
I did not go to that McDonald's.
Is that the one
I thought
that's...
you said you did.
No,
is
not
that
the
one
one
that passed when you coming off the highway?
Not
is that
the one that's right by my house. It's the one on Kennedy that's right by the Speedway over.
That one's
kind
not
of by
bad.
Wendy's.
I've had good McDonald's
Yeah,
there.
typically it's good.
Maybe you should have went inside. Maybe it would have been easier to get your point across that way.
I guess, but like it was so crazy.
It's like, do you want fries? Like, no, I didn't order fries. Like,
I just want the sauce. How hard? Like, I've been to McDonald's before and ordered 12 hot mustard sauces. Why the fuck was that? It wasn't difficult then. Why is it difficult now? Because I said Szechuan? It's a hard word.
Just have can I get a jug of it?
Can I get an entire gallon of Szechuan sauce, please? So, anyways, we'll get out of the Szechuan sauce talk. I just wanted to not forget to bring that up.
Yeah, you brought a bunch of them for AP to try.
Yeah, so you can have some of those.
You can report back to us on the next episode.
Totally.
So cover on a cold slice of pizza, just Szechuan.
AP, your mom kept texting during the Oscars.
She did.
You still up?
Yeah, that was.
Are you surprised?
I thought she was going to spoil it because
I thought she was like, "No, don't."
The text kept coming up on the TV screen because we were watching it through the phone.
Yeah, because
we
had weird issues with my cable and internet. We're just like, we're not going to because like for one, the cable.
Like the universe didn't want us to watch the Oscars, but we just kept forcing it to happen.
It's like, no, we're doing this now. Like cable's like, we're not going to have sound. I was like, well, that's not going to help.
No, not
It's like,
at
well,
all.
I'm going to cast it from my computer. We're just going to keep buffering. I was like, I'm going to do it from my phone. All right, but your texts are going to go through.
The 90th Oscars, as spoken by Sally Hawkins from The Shape of Water. That's what we were going to have to do. If,
it's a silent
with no
picture
sound.
version.
Yeah, and it sucked because the subtitles were lagging, so it was all behind, and you know.
It was all over the place for sure.
I thought it was a good. Let's talk about the Oscars. We had this Oscar party tonight, and that was fun. This was actually Nate's first time ever watching the Oscars.
There have been 90 Oscars in my life, so the Oscars started
in your life,
just his life.
He is
his
the
30 years of living.
There's actually
been 90.
Hold on, I was going to say I've only been alive for 30 of them, so from 60th Oscars on, I've been alive, and this is the first time I've actually sat down and like watched the event, the whole thing, and interesting because when I first met you one time after an Oscar party, you drove to Midway to pick me and Sarah up after a trip from Vegas.
I was very tired.
You were very not thrilled, but I was so grateful that you did it. It was so nice of you.
Well, my mom and I, and my aunt usually, my sister, like to throw Oscar parties, and we've done it like a lot. We haven't done it the last few years though. Everybody's getting kind of scattered, so. I'm happy to be at my first Oscar party in a few years.
Yeah.
Usually we just like get all fancy and dressed up just for ourselves because we're dorks and make tons of food and hors d'oeuvres and just like chill and watch the
gorge.
Oscars. Yeah, and gorge in like formal wear until it's time for sweatpants.
And then go, I'm fucking sick of this formal wear.
Yeah.
When did the sweatpants come out?
Like, really early into the night.
It's like,
probably right before
like
the Oscars
10 minutes.
start.
Yeah, 10 minutes
already,
before.
Like,
it's like, and the monologue's done. I'm going to put some comfy clothes on.
Yeah. Okay, we took pictures. All right, let's change. Sweatpants time. But I thought the Oscars were good this year.
I really liked it.
Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel keeping it classy.
As far as award shows go, it was pretty straightforward. I feel like this awards show, though, is more of like, okay, well, we already know where everybody else decided who was going to win, so we're just going to agree with everyone now that we're this far in. Because you guys kept saying, like, oh, Sam Rockwell, he's won every other fucking award for Best Supporting Actor.
That's
kind of
how you play that game, though. Like,
but
basically, whomever wins the Golden Globes is generally a lock-in for the Oscars.
Sometimes, though, you get upsets.
Yeah.
Like, especially because the Golden Globes, the thing that makes that different is there's comedy,
division
musical.
between comedy and drama.
Yeah.
Right.
They split that. So.
Well, do you think there were any upsets tonight? Was there anything that you guys were surprised won? Do you want to just get right into it?
Best Picture for me was surprising.
I was so happy that The Shape of Water won Best Picture.
I was too, although I just saw 3 Billboards for the first time today.
So did we. Nate and I just watched that for the first time today because we want to be caught up.
Yeah, 3 Billboards was my vote, and I thought it's a fantastic film. But like I think I told you even when we were recorded for the last Foodies, and I was talking about how 3 Billboards and Shape of Water were like neck and neck for me.
Totally.
Like if Get Out was my 10, I was like 9.5 whatever. My 9.9 was like they're both right there
for 2 totally different reasons.
Right.
Because I think that Shape of Water gives you everything you want throughout the movie. Like you're like, oh, they're gonna go on this heist. That's probably not gonna work. Oh, fuck, it worked. Then it's like, oh, then this next thing is gonna happen.
This movie was for the fans, like for the audience. It was very rewarding and satisfying to watch.
And then with 3 Billboards, that movie is written and directed to win fucking awards.
Right. It's such a grounded, powerful story.
It is. And it's, I told you, I thought it was actually based on a true story. Surprisingly, it's not. It's a totally made up fucking story. I was impressed.
I loved Frances McDormand's ridiculous anarchist-inspired Oscar acceptance speech.
Get all the women to... Now,
yeah,
grab
Lauren,
your clubs and
what
just
do you
beat
think
all
about
the men.
Frances
We're going to just murder everyone.
Having just watched that movie today.
I don't know. I thought she got a little bit manic for a minute when she was giving that speech. Like when she was like, come on, on, stand up.
Meryl, if you do what everyone else would do.
Yeah.
I wonder if she was thinking about the scene in Three Billboards where she was using the two slippers to talk to herself.
Oh, that was probably my favorite part of that movie.
You know?
Yeah, that was
the bunny slippers was definitely my favorite part of that
slipper
movie.
talk. That shit got me.
I just love her. I loved her in Fargo. I loved her in Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day. That was like one of my favorite.
Did she win anything for Fargo?
I don't know.
Was it just
I think
Fargo?
that's a question for Google.
Yeah, it's probably.
I know she's won an
I'm
Oscar
too tired
before.
to Google right now.
I just can't remember what.
We'll just think I'll just say she did.
But real quick, we should brief on the fact that we did see Three Billboards. Now that we've all four seen it, quickly review out of 10.
I'd give it a 10.
Yeah? AP?
I think I said last week like 9.9 out of 10.
V?
I don't know. There was a lot about this movie that I didn't like. I didn't know anything about it going into watching this movie, so like I didn't know what to expect or where it was going to go. I like how it ended, but it was for me. I give it an 8.9. An
8.9.
It was just a little too like Oscar bait for me.
See, and I thought it was like a 9.75, honestly. It had a little bit of everything, and yeah, it has some heavy, gut-wrenching emotion, and they really put some really hard to fucking talk about concepts right in your face.
Yeah, can I just say, I want to say that I think that what was cool about this movie is that it focuses on the aftermath of something that could have been like the plot of a movie, like this woman's daughter was abducted, raped, and murdered. You know, and then it could have been a totally different movie, but I like that it focused on the after of what happened, you know, like what this mother is doing with her life a year later after her...
7 months later.
7 months later.
Yeah.
You know, her daughter's case is still unsolved, and she's trying to get shit done,
right.
You know?
Man, and she doesn't just get shit done. She, like, puts the whole town on their heels. And it's coming from all angles. And I think one of my favorite scenes in the movie is her and the priest...
Yeah.
In the living room.
Yeah, she's shutting him down.
She is like, she pretty much says that, like, if you're upstairs, mind your own business, smoking a peace pipe while another priest is downstairs doing some really heinous acts, that you're complicit, and that's what makes these cops complicit.
Oh, the Crips and Bloods.
Culpable.
The Crips and Bloods argument, yeah.
Yeah, which was that was fucking powerful as well.
It was a good movie. It was really dark. It cut through with some interesting comedy. I loved Sam Rockwell as an actor. I'm glad that he won Best Supporting
I liked
Actor.
Woody Harrelson.
I thought Woody Harrelson did a better comedic role than anyone else in that movie.
Oh, definitely.
Especially that part when he's talking to his kids at the lake.
Oh, yeah. His last day.
Yeah, that was a sad movie.
Don't put the magnets into your eyes. That's counterproductive. But see, that's one thing about the movie, too, and, of course, a little bit of mild spoilers here, is that, you know, the Woody Harrelson scene is the rough. It's really fucking... You got to...
Super dark.
Just bite down and get through it, you know. But once you get through it, it's like the hardest part is the letters he sends. But the first one's bad, because it's the wife.
Yeah.
But then everyone else's letters are amazing for their own reasons and leave standout moments.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The letter to Frances McDormand is this, like, hey, here's the truth. I paid for the billboards, for after I die, which is hilarious. Like, they're going to be fucking stuck with them. I'm dead. This is great. Like,
because he kind of felt responsible that he did not help her find her daughter's killer in the time that he was alive and was able to help her.
Exactly, and he brings up a thing that's very pertinent to the movie, that maybe one day in a bar, some guy will say something that someone will hear and open up a door that opens this case wide open.
It's like it's also foreshadowing with like Sam Rockwell's letter with like, you're not a fuck up.
Oh my God. And just to take it in and like pay attention to things and to be mindful of your surroundings, and you'll be a great detective, and you can figure things out just really easy.
Behind him there's just fire.
He has no idea. He could totally be and again, Frances McDormand has no idea when she starts that fire that he's in there.
Well, she tried calling him though.
Yeah.
And then she's like, fuck it.
Well, all right. Good enough.
What did he have with him that he threw at her feet?
It was her daughter's case file.
It was the case file that would have burned up
Yeah, because it's on the desk already catching fire, and he grabs it and fucking puts it out and then throws it.
He puts it under his shirt when he runs through it.
Yeah.
See, that was an interesting character plot twist, too, because at first I thought he was the one who ended up setting the billboards on fire. Turns out it was the ex-husband. Spoilers.
Actually, yeah, I thought it was him. Oh, when the husband casually says that?
Oh, God, what a cocksucker.
Yeah, but then, like you're thinking about how awful Sam Rockwell's character is because he just beat the shit out of that other guy who was in Get Out, by the way.
And the whole
brother.
movie is hinged on the fact
Oh,
that
yeah, the brother, he is in that movie.
Yeah,
he did a really good job in this movie.
He did. I loved him in this movie because I kept thinking, I was like, where the hell do I know that guy?
Yeah, I knew him from the second that he came on the screen. I was like, I know he was in
seen Get Out like a million
the
times.
different hair threw me off.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? Oh, the part near the end when Frances McDormand she sees her ex-husband and his new girlfriend out to dinner.
I love that new girlfriend.
Yeah,
she's so dumb.
She's so dumb, and
Frances
McDormand is like, you treat her well.
Yeah, be
Sets
nice
the
to
fucking
her.
bottle
I thought she
down
was
and
gonna
walks away.
shatter.
Same. I thought she was gonna fucking take him out. I was like, oh my God, this is about to
She
get
just
fucked
doesn't
up.
want him beating up on someone as precious and dumb as her.
Yeah.
Well, that girl just was like, well, now I work for
the
disabled horses.
And then and then it's like, it's a bad time. I gotta kind of pee, but it's.
I can tell this is a bad time. I'm gonna go. It's a bad time, right?
I was like,
this
she
was
was
a fucked
like, you
up
just want to
movie.
give her a blanket and a hot cup of tea. You're like, it'll be okay.
How old was she? Wasn't she like supposed to be like 19 in that movie?
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
for like a 50-year-old guy.
Yeah.
One thing is that the Dixon character that is Sam Rockwell also is, kind of talked about in the town as a guy who he got away with really torturing somebody, and it's kind of this
a certain race,
and it's really a cloud over his head through the whole movie. That's who he is. And of course, the breaking point after Woody Harrelson's character dies, and he
sends him that letter.
First he snaps and he goes after Red and he throws him out the fucking window.
After pistol whipping
him. Yeah, and then he hits that chick and everything. And you're just like, oh my God, this guy couldn't get any fucking worse, you know?
And then he tries to redeem himself.
Well, it was even worse that he went down after he was already in the road and hit him again.
Yeah.
It's like, what the?
And the thing is, this movie does a good job of swerving you too, because it's like they led you to believe that, Sam Rockwell's character might also kill himself. There's some play with that a couple times towards the end of the movie, and you're like, oh shit.
He just failed and realized what a fuck up he is.
Oh, it was the shotgun before he got...
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Well, I think he was planning on killing himself depending on what that woman said to him on the phone.
If she would have been shitty to him, he probably would have.
Well, and his mom was... That scene when he comes back from the...
all bloodied.
And the mom just banging on the door,
yeah, but
wasn't that right after he got the DNA from the guy?
Yeah. He's like, I needed, because that's what he was doing. He was getting the evidence bag and the.
I wanted that guy to be the guy so bad.
Because that was the guy that also threw a thing at her at the shop.
Even though Sam Rockwell said he was he raped someone, he
someone,
murdered someone.
From Iowa.
Or he's being.
He's like, you want to go on a road trip?
Well, and the guy, and here's the thing that kept being said, that they kept saying his commanding officer, meaning that guy is a cop or something.
I think it was military.
Military. So that means they could be covering for him anyways. You know what I'm saying? He could have been there, and it's interesting. Why did he go to the shop and throw that thing at Frances McDormand if there was no connection? There was. I think it's like that.
This movie makes you think. It's not just a regular mainstream.
It gives you
Oscar bait movie.
It gives you options of what could happen, and then they give you maybe the least expected logical line of development for the story.
Right. I was telling you when we were watching it, I was thinking I feel like they didn't really know how they wanted to end this movie, so they ended it
kind
super
of ambiguously.
He was what did he say? He was
judge.
or what did she say? She was like, we don't have to do it if we
she's like, we'll decide on the trip.
Figure it out
I kind
on the way.
of thought the movie was going to end in a couple different spots towards the end. I thought it was going to end when she was sitting under one of the billboards, because it started playing music. I'm like, oh, it's going to end here. Then it's
that's what Nate thought too.
Well, I thought it was going to end when they were driving away from the three billboards, because the intro of the movie is her driving into the three billboards. I went, oh, perfect circle.
No, it just kept going,
and it just went a little bit longer and gave you a little bit extra, and I really
just
enjoyed
to
it.
leave you wondering, because
So I'm really glad that she won Best Actress.
Yeah,
I'm really glad that Sam Rockwell won Best Supporting Actor. I haven't seen Darkest Hour, but from what I've seen, Gary Oldman did really well in it.
Man, I can't wait to watch it now.
He got the mannerisms and the voice and the look just down. It was.
And what's up with the Oscars fucking people on their speech? Like, most people did really fast.
Nate's never seen the Oscars.
No,
he doesn't
but, like,
know
that
about
happens
the
a lot.
music.
But it's so
that
fucking
happens at every
awful.
show.
Best Picture. Guillermo
Yeah.
del Toro barely said anything. Like, less than a minute of speech.
And then who was that guy that came
Literally,
up?
picked the mic,
I
said
think he was
one
maybe
word,
an executive
and
producer
then they, like,
to the movie.
And then they
Okay.
played him off and then cut the lights out. I'm like, it's not even 11 yet. What
Just so Kimmel could come out and say something about a fucking jet ski.
like give him
Yeah.
like we saw how much
Well, Kimmel
time.
gave him his due. He's like, "What were you gonna say, dude?"
Yeah, I don't know. That's
Even
just
though that guy had to be so embarrassed.
Totally. And a
let
little
him
bit
let him
pissed off,
thank. He was
too.
the other
Yeah.
producer of the film. Let him say his 2 cents.
Totally. Like, it's his moment, too. It's not just Del
I mean,
Toro's.
should have had him go first because Del Toro already had.
Plus,
Just
I
like
really wanted to
before.
hear Sally Hawkins speak.
I know we
She's
didn't
not.
hear her speak.
Because there's
all
been
night.
some movies that have won Best Picture where they like kind of everyone says like 2 quick things.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So what do we? Okay, best leading was Gary Oldman. Supporting role was Sam Rockwell. Leading actress was Frances McDormand. Supporting actress was
Allison Janney.
And man, you haven't seen I, Tonya yet.
No.
Oh,
It
soon.
was really good.
Like,
Lady Bird was really good too, though.
Laurie
I didn't
Metcalf-
see Lady Bird yet.
that's on our list. We're gonna.
Laurie
Yeah.
Metcalf was also phenomenal, but
Yeah.
I think Laurie Metcalf might just be that person. Allison Janney became another person.
Yeah.
And I think that you mentioned this earlier, but you said it about Meryl Streep, and you said about Tom Hanks that they go to a certain level, and you'll never see them peak that level.
Right. They achieved
plateaued
their
at the
level
top.
early. That there's never a standout performance from them. They're always giving the same level, which is great. But there's nothing that looks. Oh, it's just them being them. It's like Octavia Spencer.
And that's what I was just getting ready to bring up is in the supporting actress, Octavia Spencer's definitely in for that whole group of she's always great in everything she does. It
But
didn't really
she kind of it was kind of similar to her performance in The Help. I feel
didn't
like.
see The Help actually.
Well, and
Really?
Hidden
The
Figures.
Help was great.
Yeah, I
They're-
didn't
It's a
see
good
it.
movie.
They bring their A game, but I mean it's like not like someone who's like went like above and beyond and did something
I
that
think that was
you
just
didn't
because
expect.
of the nature of her character and
Right.
the role she was in.
Right.
I think that
If the
this
material's not there, it's not there.
Right.
I
Well, it's
think-
like the same reason Spielberg doesn't get nominated for director anymore.
yeah, that's
It's because
true.
like everyone knows his early work, so nothing like surpasses their previous work. So it doesn't.
Correct.
That's how it is. Because a lot of these awards are recognizing a career more than that specific film. Like Del Toro as much earned it for Shape of Water as he did for Pan's Labyrinth and all the movies that have come before that.
I think that a shocker on this list was actually animated feature film.
I was just gonna say, I was super surprised that Loving Vincent didn't take it.
Should have been. I mean, a completely hand-painted movie. Every frame of that movie is hand-painted, and
I haven't
it did
seen
not
that
win.
yet, but I really need
Never
to.
bet against Pixar.
I guess that's the unfortunate fucking truth.
Animated is mostly a popularity contest.
I fucking hate that. I hate that so much.
Because
I
these
want it to be
awards are
about
all
quality.
are all voted on by the whatever the Academy, everyone who votes on it. So whatever they're more likely to see or hear about.
Cinematography, AP. You actually saw Blade Runner.
Yeah, I watched it this morning.
In the mic.
Sorry, I was looking at the list. I watched it this morning, and I haven't seen Blade Runner before, so I'll.
Okay.
And it actually didn't
You
detract.
haven't seen the original Blade Runner?
I have not.
You haven't seen the original Blade Runner with
I know.
Harrison Ford?
I know. I need to.
actually shocking.
I have it. I'm gonna watch them back to back. I didn't have time to watch them both, and I wanted to see Blade Runner 2049 before the Oscars.
So you could have an educated opinion about
Right.
the episode.
I have the director's cut on DVD.
I have it too.
Oh, that's awesome.
But so yeah, I said it before. Like I messaged them like, if Blade Runner 24 doesn't get cinematography or visual effects, I think that's going to be ridiculous. And it got both, and I was like, oh, alrighty then, because like it's visually stunning, and a lot of this, everything's a little different.
It's not really. Is there a noise? I don't have the headphones on. So
Oh,
I
it was.
can't.
Sarah put the seat up.
Oh, okay.
No worries.
Shockingly, costume design was not shocking at all. A movie about costumes. One.
Yeah, it was dresses.
I mean, the end. I mean, I guess, yeah, costume dresses.
I changed my vote from Beauty and the Beast to Phantom Thread when I saw, like, the Phantom Thread, like...
The little teaser that they
Yeah.
were doing for the nominees.
'cause Phantom Thread, is all about dresses, and it's very committed, and the guy is a little OCD, a little bit maybe on the spectrum.
Well, this is supposed to be Daniel Day-Lewis's like swan
yeah,
song,
and he
right?
brings it.
Totally.
His final film he wanted to do.
Director, we already kind of brought this up, but Del Toro does take Best Director, which is awesome. Then we're going to quickly through some of these other ones. documentary feature film, Icarus. That's about Putin. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's Russian. It's Netflix produced, so it's another Netflix win.
Documentary short subject was
Heaven is a traffic jam on the 405.
I've heard nothing of this.
Thank you.
I voted for that one. I don't know why, but I got it.
I voted for Edith and Eddie just because it sounded like two old people.
I voted for Heroin.
Film editing went to Dunkirk. Foreign language film went to A Fantastic Woman.
I picked that one.
First transgender film.
That's awesome.
Which is pretty
It
impressive.
won an award. Makeup and hairstyling went to Darkest Hour. I had picked Victoria and Abdul.
Well, Gary Oldman became Winston Churchill.
Man.
Original score went to Alexander Desplat for The Shape of Water, even though 3 Billboards is what I voted for.
I voted for The Shape of Water. I really liked the tune.
Alexander Desplat, I think, deserved the win, but Shape of Water, or not Shape of Water, 3 Billboards had the more, I think, interesting score.
Rousing.
Yes.
3 Billboards score was really good, and when we were watching it, that was the first thing Nate noted about it.
That little
I really like the
westerny
score.
sounding tune to certain
But
parts
it was
of
also modern.
I'm surprised
Very
Get Out was
atmospheric.
not nominated for Best Original Score. We were saying that.
I know. You had been talking about that earlier tonight. Get Out was not nominated for
which
original
is
score.
Shocking here.
Yeah.
Original song went with the Best Animated Film, which was for Coco. But I don't know if any of you guys even liked most of the song choices from this.
Honestly,
I just love Sufjan Stevens. He's amazing. So
Which one was that one again?
Mystery of Love, Call Me By Your Name.
That music in Call Me By Your Name was actually you guys need to check out Call Me By Your Name. The music and the
I
acting
haven't
is.
seen that one yet. I'll check it out.
I have no idea what it's
about.
about.
It's a boy and his father's graduate assistant, and they form a homosexual relationship. In Italy. Yeah, it's a very interesting story.
I'm really upset that Baby Driver did not get nominated for more in more categories besides just sound mixing and sound editing. But like I was saying earlier, that's probably all Kevin Spacey's
Right.
fault.
I mean, I'm happy he got some recognition. Like Edgar Wright may have deserved a director, but it was a hard field for director this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
God, was it?
the director of 3 Billboards didn't even get it on the list.
Yeah, and he could have.
I'm just really glad that Jordan Peele got Best Original Screenplay for Get Out.
I was hoping that would be the Oscar that he would win tonight.
I mean, because he wasn't going to get director with Del Toro, but he needed
Right.
some recognition of the fact that he wrote and directed it himself.
And produced it.
Yeah.
Adapted screenplay was Call Me By Your Name. Is that based on something true?
Yeah, it's a book. That's when the guy was thinking it's an Italian or French book
That's
or
right.
something.
He does say that. Like,
Nate
gotta
was
think
surprised the
book first.
disaster artist didn't win.
Yeah, that's what I
saw
put
that
down
too.
my vote for.
I saw it too this week. It's a
The
neat
Disaster
little,
Artist?
Yeah. I mean, I think it suffered from Franco, but
It suffered from
Franco.
from the fallout from the stuff that was
the same
said.
reason Franco didn't get nominated. I think Franco is probably how Denzel Washington got in there, to be honest.
Interesting. Visual effects, as you said, went to Blade Runner.
Yes.
Sound mixing and editing both went to Dunkirk.
Yeah, they had matching nominations, and
Usually,
Dunkirk.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, usually, I don't know. Sometimes they go hand in hand, even though they're very different things.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, usually when it comes to sound editing and sound mixing categories, the war movie always wins.
I think Hacksaw Ridge swept those last year
as well.
Mhm.
It won a lot of awards last year, didn't it? Win Best Picture?
I think Star Wars won. No, it
Baby
didn't win.
Driver had an amazing soundtrack.
Oh well, and the way the
and
music,
just the way it flowed into each song, flowed into each other was amazing.
A lot of the stuff was so synced up. It was phenomenal.
Do you think that Baby Driver also suffers from Kevin Spacey being
that's
tied to it, and that's why it didn't win any awards?
I feel like maybe honestly, if it wasn't for Kevin Spacey, he probably would have been nominated for Best Actor in a Supporting Role, because wasn't the younger guy in Baby Driver, wasn't he technically the lead?
Ansel Elgort, yeah.
Yeah.
If there was someone else in Kevin Spacey's role, that it'd be interesting, but it might have gotten more recognition.
Mm-hmm.
We now have officially a NBA champion who's also an Oscar winner.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant, Oscar winner.
Who's won more awards than Brad Pitt,
Johnny Depp,
and Tom Cruise combined.
Damn.
And he has the same amount as Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, just one. And then Best Production Design, Shape of Water, which took home the most awards tonight, 4 out of 13 nominations. It better have taken.
There was none. Because there's been years like, I think when Lord of the Rings won, I think it took like 11 home.
Holy shit.
It's like there's some that have taken home, I think, almost everything they came up for.
Like Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah.
Nothing will ever beat the Lord of the Rings.
So let's go ahead and talk about it. Who scores the most points in this?
I had 36.
I had 27.
24.
17.
AP's the winner.
AP hosts, AP wins.
Yeah. Well, I think I also did see all of the Best Picture nominees.
So it helped to
I think it helped. We kind of fell behind on our viewing of any of these movies.
Because I think majority, besides a handful, I think all of them were from those 9, like branched out from those. So I was able to give a little more educated opinion. Like the only ones I missed were those documentaries and the foreign films, because I never was going to see those.
The short film live action and stuff.
Yeah, those were.
I mean, I feel like the short film, I want to go watch those because they can't be that crazy
right.
long.
When I saw that, the Regal over by me actually did a screening of all of the animated and live action shorts, and it's like an hour and a half for all of them together.
That's
and I'm
cool.
like, that's kind of nice just to go in there, hour and a half, get them all out of the way.
Be done. That's actually dope. I would love that.
I only saw one of the animated short films. We watched, my kid and I watched Revolting Rhymes, and it was pretty dark, but it was pretty cool too. He
really?
It. Yeah, it's like dark fairy tales.
Yeah, I think one of
based off the book.
I think one of my goals is to just have a complete, just have seen everything that's on the nomination list.
Like next year, are you trying to do that for the 91st Oscars?
Maybe.
Damn, that's
that foreign film's going to be a trick, though. I don't know where you're going to see those. You have to bootleg them.
You can figure out how to get screeners somehow.
But I feel like I'm going to try and take advantage of, and maybe try and see more movies. Now that I have Movie Pass, try to see more movies, so maybe I'll have seen them in the course of things, not just wait till January and then just bum rush through all of them.
Right.
So AP's the winner of tonight, which also makes him the loser of tonight, because AP, I brought something for you.
Oh gosh.
And he's got to try it live on the podcast right now with no you can't, you got to just do it like a man. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So this is coming back from last week's episode where I talked about it and brought it on, but this is my last of them.
Oh no, you brought
Super
it for
lemon.
Yes. Lemon candy.
So here's the thing. Don't let the powder get on your hands. Literally just barely open the package and put it right in your mouth. It's the easier way to do it, because then the powder gets on your hands. If you touch your eyes, it fucks you up.
You're not going to like it.
No, and I want your full review. This is going to be amazing.
And it's in.
Oh.
Yeah, it's unpleasant, isn't it?
It's different.
It's awful.
I like lemon, but it's too much.
I just want it to be a lemon head. You know,
yeah,
like a warhead.
It's
worse. It's worse than a warhead.
Oh,
he's in pain.
Oh,
layers and layers of flavor.
You'll be able to see pain like this on our Instagram, because I'm taking amazing pictures of AP in absolute anguish right now.
Oh, no, it's fine. No, it's okay.
Yeah, now it tastes good. You got past the worst part that fucks your top of your
like
mouth
a warhead a little bit.
Yeah, it's like a warhead to an extreme.
Yeah, it's pretty extreme.
It's like the Hot Ones version of warheads.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's a great reference.
That would be the worst kind of thing. Do like Hot Ones with sour stuff.
It's because it would just wreck your fucking mouth, bro.
You just burn the shit out of your tongue. What's the point?
Yeah.
The muscles in my face hurt now. It's just like,
do you like sour stuff? Mostly, typically?
It's not bad.
See, I really love like sour Skittles. Warheads are good. I used to eat warheads so much that the skin in the inside of my mouth would come off.
Ooh.
Because I would just melt it
horrific.
off. Well, yeah, I was a kid. I didn't give a fuck. I loved warheads. That's the thing.
Try and get a couple flavors in your mouth at the same time.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Eating warheads, playing Pog, and
warheads.
You totally nailed it. That's exactly what I was fucking doing. Pog. She nailed it, man. Were you spying on me?
No, I grew up in the Midwest too. That's all.
No, she's spying on me from the future into the past. She's looking into my childhood.
So Get Out might get a sequel?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Jordan Peele said, he's like, I have some ideas. It could be done.
I was reading online that he wants to do a trilogy of horror movies dealing.
An anthology?
Yeah.
Oh.
But like social commentary?
Yes.
That would be cool.
So it wouldn't be like a direct sequel to Get Out.
Because it
but
wouldn't be like the same family. Because how can you fucking
No.
further that
It'd
story?
be like
But
watching
you can
Creep
tell.
Show or like Cat's Eye, like an anthology.
He might even keep like the same actors, but like do a different
American
like,
Horror Story it?
story.
Yes, that's cool.
I would be
I
cool
like
with that.
I like that idea.
I want to see more of the best friend. I liked him.
Yeah.
And Daniel Kaluuya is amazing. He's fucking phenomenal in that movie. He was great in Black Panther. Did you see Black Panther?
Mm-mm.
You should do it. You'll not be disappointed. It's definitely outside of the realm of anything Marvel's ever done.
With his win from tonight, he's definitely could probably go to any studio. Well, he's probably going to stick with Blumhouse. Blumhouse will make anything he wants now.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. They're great. It's interesting because I also want to mention that from the time we did the first talking of the Oscars, which was several episodes ago, we changed our answers.
Well, because most of us hadn't seen any of the nominees at that point.
Right,
or
we had
very
to get a
few.
more informed
Correct.
opinion.
I'm curious how many of these I got right the first time, though.
I think, didn't you have a lot of Star Wars in your first go at it?
Nah, I don't think so. Maybe. Okay, let's see. I didn't get Best Picture. I got Best Director. I didn't get Best Actor. I didn't get Best Actress. I got Best Supporting. I got Best Supporting Actress. I got Best Foreign Language. Didn't get Screenplay or Original Screen. Oh, I did get Original Screenplay. I have Get Out. And today I wrote Shape of Water instead. Fuck. So yeah, I guess I should have just kept some of this. I did. I totally fucked it all up. All right. Well, is there anything else we want to do before we get out of here today? I know it's a little bit of a shorter episode. Oh, get out!
Yeah. Get out.
Yeah.
I love that. That was going to be the. I wanted them to stick with that.
I know, just not at the end, just not at the Best Picture winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you never want to do something like that.
I was kind of over the jet ski moment after the second time they talked about it.
Yeah. And then they were like, also, we're going to send you to a random place in fucking Arizona.
Yeah.
Which they probably already knew, because don't they have to, like, do a test run of the Oscars, and so people don't know they're winning, but they have a placeholder for how long they expect their speech to be?
They only do it for presenters. They don't do it for... All the presenters show up, like, the day before.
I gotcha. So the actors have no idea if they even need to be having a speech ready.
That's why everyone has usually has a speech ready or something written down.
Fuck that, dude. I'm going off the cuff, man. Genuinely, if I ever won an award like that, I'm just going off the cuff.
Well, 'cause I feel like the worst thing would be losing. I'd take that letter you wrote, the thank you thing,
and like
out.
throw it away.
Yeah, that would be
be like, oh well, I guess I didn't need this.
That happened to Michael Keaton.
That video of him like putting it back in.
It was so sad.
What
I wanted him to win. So
when he was in Birdman,
he thought he was gonna win, and there was a video of him putting his speech back into his pocket
as like he was clapping, and then but he got to give a speech when Birdman won, which was nice.
Yeah,
hell yeah. I loved that movie.
Birdman was amazing.
Who won Best Actor the year that Birdman was nominated?
It was the kid for Theory of Everything. What's his name?
Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was that the
he played
Hawkins?
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
I did not really like that movie that much.
I didn't see it.
It had the future Daredevil in that movie.
Future Daredevil, Mr. Matt Cox?
Yeah. He played the man who ended up marrying his wife when they got a divorce.
Interesting. Very
It also
sweet.
has a young actress who was, I forget what her name is, but she was in Star Wars. She was in Star Wars Rogue One.
Okay.
Felicity Jones?
Yes.
Oh, she was the wife, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was the wife, and she was also in this movie. It was called, I forget what it was called, but it had Anton Yelchin in it.
Oh.
And it was really good. It was a movie about like this young guy who's in California, Anton Yelchin, and this girl comes across from England, and like they like fall in love, but she's staying on a visa, so she can't stay there for long, so she has to like go back to England, like she gets deported, and yeah, it's really sad, but
it sounds sad.
Well, this wasn't the beaver.
Lauren, you recently watched a couple Netflixy movies too, right?
Yeah, and I went and saw Annihilation.
So give us some reviews on it. I'm not gonna take a picture of you. Don't worry. I'm actually gonna take a picture of myself for my dad because he's like, "Hey, how'd the podcast go?" And I'm like, "Dad, the podcast is still going on right now, and I'm sending you a video of me telling you this while I'm on the podcast because, yeah." Yeah, see? So now he just got that. That's cool. I love the way Future works. Anyways, back to your movies that you've seen. You saw Annihilation in theaters, and you've seen like 2 or 3 on Netflix?
Yeah.
Go ahead and get into them. What did you think?
Annihilation was really, really good.
Premise of the movie?
It's It's Natalie Portman, and it starts off with she's like a biologist, and she teaches at Johns Hopkins.
Okay.
And her husband is a soldier, and he comes back home after being missing for like 12 months.
Shit.
And he ends up having this like seizure. He starts coughing up blood. So they take him in an ambulance, and then the police come. Like, the police come as the ambulance is going down the road.
Whoa.
And they take him to like this place that's called Area X, which you come to find out that there's this thing called like the shimmer.
Okay.
That is like enveloped like part of the coast of Florida.
Whoa.
And it's like this, you come to find out it's like this extraterrestrial phenomenon. Because at the beginning you see this ray of light come down, and it shoots and it lands on this lighthouse.
Hell yeah.
And it causes this like shimmer to like develop around it.
And you see that in the trailer. That's that like translucent, multicolored thing that shimmers.
Yeah.
Neat.
So
not just a clever name.
So this psychiatrist or psychologist, her name's Dr. Ventress, played by Jennifer Jason Leigh. She develops this team of like 5 all-female young women to go into the shimmer and find the source, which is the lighthouse, and find out what's going on, because their fear is that if they don't get to the bottom of it, that it will eventually like envelop like the whole world, basically. So they go in there, and they eventually do get to the root of what it is, and I don't want to give you a spoiler.
Fair enough.
But it's really, really good. I thought it was like I said in my review kind of on Facebook, it was very like technical, but it was written really, really well.
Your review on Facebook that I screenshotted? Yes, I totally kept this.
It sounds like a rival.
I think I'm going to make AP read your review.
Okay.
That's the review that Lauren made on her Facebook.
Should I read it verbatim?
Yes, totally, of course.
I'm home now drinking wine and watching The Ritual on Netflix. Annihilation was great. It was maybe a little too much for me on a full moon when my emotions were already heightened tenfold, but it was still a great movie nonetheless. It had an amazing score. First of all, the writing was technical but brilliant. The direction was great. Alex Garland really knows how to do thriller science fiction. He does it well. First Ex Machina, and now this. All in all, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Veronica, this needs to be a Foodies tweet.
So, yeah. Oh, Veronica said this needs to be a Foodies tweet. I see that. I saw that.
Oh.
So, do you stand by that now that you're a little bit further out from the movie?
Yes.
Awesome. And it was a little bit much. That's interesting. I'm more intrigued to see it now with your blessing of a review than when I saw the trailer and went, oh, God, another Natalie Portman movie. Like,
that's what I thought, too, when I first saw the trailer.
Totally.
I first saw the trailer for it when I went to go see... What was the first movie I went to go see at Crestview by myself? It was Lady Bird.
Oh.
So I first saw the trailer for Annihilation when I went to go see Lady Bird.
Sweet.
And then when I saw that it came out and it was getting generally favorable reviews, I was like, I should go see this. And I'm really glad I did. I really liked it.
Hell yeah. Is it one of those movies that is probably a better experience in theaters? Or
Yeah.
So maybe we should get on that.
Even the director, he said he was, because I guess it's getting distributed on Netflix in like some countries, because Netflix like picked it up somehow.
Like international distribution.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he was kind of upset. He was like, this movie was meant to be seen in theaters.
Shit.
And so he's kind of upset, because I mean, I can understand that. If you're a director, you want your movie to reach the maximum amount of number of people that it can on the big screen before it goes to the small screen.
Right. And not only that, though, is like when you go to see a movie and you're immersed in the sound and you're
it's a different experience.
You're actually not on your cell phone because they make sure you don't be on your cell phone. And
like, would you hate it if you had to see Infinity War only on your phone?
No, I would absolutely love it if they gave it to me right now.
No, but like, what if you could only see it on your phone?
I can only ever watch it on my phone. I'd fucking be so mad.
Yeah, like that's.
I would. What if I buy a projector that I can hook my phone up to? Though
you're restricted to like 8 inches. Like, can't do it.
Jesus.
I don't want to.
That's basically how it is. It's like I feel like
8 inches was mildly specific. AP.
Well, like I think that's the size of my phone. That's why.
I was like, "Wow, is he really going to say this live on the podcast?" And then you swerved it with phone, and I was like, "Oh, winner! Great! It's getting late. You can tell.
It's getting late."
The Ritual.
The Ritual on Netflix, that was really good. It was like this scary movie. It took place in the woods in Sweden.
Yeah, it sounds fucking crazy.
It was like a creature. It was like a creature movie.
Okay.
And then what else did I watch? I watched this movie called Ravenous.
I've seen Ravenous.
No, different Ravenous. I thought the same thing. Because there's a new foreign film that's called. She'll explain.
Le Emthem. It's a French-Canadian zombie movie. It was really good. It had a very sad ending, though. Very sad. Like, I was crying by the end.
I don't like sad movies.
And you also saw something that people are saying is really scary.
Veronica.
And?
Yes.
Not you.
Yeah.
But.
I thought it was really good. I mean, nothing really phases me anymore as far as scary movies go. So, like I was saying earlier, I was like, I didn't really have any nightmares related to Veronica, like nothing demon related. Only dream I had last night that I remembered when I woke up was I dreamt that I was in Florida at a political debate. So maybe you could consider that a nightmare.
That sounds like a nightmare to me.
Or maybe you were just field reporting.
I mean, it was really good. It was about this young girl. She's like 16 or 17. She's in high school in Madrid. It only takes place over like a 3 or 4 day period.
Oh, damn.
And she has a seance in the basement of her school during an eclipse with 2 of her classmates.
Okay.
They use a Ouija board, and yeah, so she invokes kind of like the spirit of her father.
Oh shit.
Who died recently. And it ends up like this is based on a true story, actually.
What the fuck? Okay, now you're throwing me for a loop. That's why it's so scary.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, whatever, this movie, I could totally watch it. You said based on a true story?
They definitely dramatize it for the screen.
Totally.
Like, a lot of it was definitely dramatized. Like, but it is the only case in Spain of a police detective saying that they witnessed something paranormal happening.
Shit.
It's the only recorded case in Spain of anyone ever saying that they witnessed something paranormal happening, like, in front of them.
Wow. That's
things I probably don't want to see.
Yeah, things at least not when you're by yourself.
Things
or
to watch
at night.
Things to watch outside at night.
The trailer in and of itself is pretty scary.
Really?
Yeah.
You just like don't have any. You can just take all the fear all day and it's nothing for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of awesome.
Really, there's nothing that's
it was
no
Raw.
That you
Raw
can't see then.
I think Raw did it for you, huh? It just broke you, and you're just like, okay, whatever.
No, honestly, it was way before Raw. Even since I was young, like probably like the thing is like my dad when I was growing up, he would always let me watch whatever I wanted to watch.
Totally.
The thing is that he would always get more embarrassed when we were watching like sexual movies, like
of
the
course.
40-Year-Old Virgin, as opposed to like anything gory
or like white chicks.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know something? I have a white chick story that's hilarious.
I want to hear your white chick story.
So of course that's the Wayans Brothers movie, right? So I had seen it a couple times, and my dad had it on like the DVR, and my sister was probably only like 15 at the time or 14. And there's like a dildo scene in that movie. So my dad tried to play it off like the TV broke, but I'm Mr. Smart Fix-It Pants, so I really quickly was like, oh no, it's just this, and I like fixed it right when the scene came on, and he got so fucking mad at me because he's like, I was trying to keep that from your fucking sister, that smut. You know, he was all mad, you know. Yeah.
You just hear him saying
so,
that too.
Smut.
Oh, yeah. So, so I remember that. That's funny. So I get the sexual thing, like with dads and daughters and watching stuff like that. I can totally understand how that's like an embarrassing thing. So you got kind of free reign to watch whatever you wanted.
Yeah. Like
Hell
we
yeah.
would go to the video store growing up, and I remember being able to rent like probably like whatever scary movie I wanted to watch and bring it home. And
so you're just swiftly desensitized.
Mm-hmm.
What's the scariest movie to you all time? Like Lifetime, you'll never watch it again because nope.
Nothing.
Pee-wee's Big
Nothing.
Adventure.
Wow, nothing.
Nothing.
That's shit.
Well, what's your favorite then?
Oh.
What's my favorite
What
scary
can you?
movie?
Yeah, what scary
What's
movie
my
do you
favorite
enjoy?
Scary movie.
Yeah, what's your favorite scary movie, Lauren?
Probably Suspiria.
Oh,
Dario Argento. Yeah. It's this Italian movie. They're coming out with a remake in 2000. It's supposed to come out in 2018.
Oh, so I've heard.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of foreign films.
Yeah. It's about this young American ballet student who goes to Italy, and she trains to become a ballerina there. And she she goes to this private school, and she comes to find out the school is run by witches, and it has an amazing score by Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm super intrigued.
This movie, yeah.
Plus, I feel like just the colors in it were amazing.
Yeah,
like it was a really good movie.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
You've seen it?
Mm-hmm. I used to have a poster for it.
Yeah, I own it on DVD.
What's
so if
it
you
called
ever
again?
Suspiria. If you ever want to watch it, let me know, and I'll
watch it. I feel like for the longest time it was on Netflix, on like the instant watch on Netflix.
It's on Amazon Prime now. But
we have that. We can get to it.
Yeah.
I have it, or it might. I don't know. It was on Amazon Prime the last time I checked. It might not be anymore.
Well,
but if
DVD, so.
if it's not, then you guys can watch it on DVD. I have the DVD.
Cool.
Sweet. Maybe we can make that one of the upcoming Foodies episodes. I will say that one of the next Foodies episodes we're going to do, we have to go to El Guero Taco. She's all about us coming there to podcast.
I've gone to El Guero like 2 nights in the past week.
Yes, it's so great, isn't it?
Yes, and she's so sweet.
Right? I think her name's Maria.
We should watch El
She's a
Guero and
sweet
then talk about Pan's Labyrinth, since I've never seen it.
Oh, that sounds good.
I own
all about
Pan's
that.
Labyrinth on DVD.
I have it on Blu-ray also.
I don't
That's
own
a
it.
good movie.
Yes, it is. Doug Jones is amazing in that movie.
Yeah, I was saying that they should give Doug Jones
Don't
an honorary
like every
Oscar.
Guillermo del Toro movie?
Yes, he is actually in every movie. And I will say, I want to just real quickly say that I feel shitty that at one point I said that Shape of Water just looked like a Hellboy movie about Abe Sapien. Because it kind of, Abe Sapien and the Beast, they have kind of a similar look.
Doug Jones.
And Fish Guy.
Doug Jones can only look so many ways when you put fish prosthetics on hhim.
Doug Jones, Fish Guy prosthetics, Guillermo del Toro.
Abe Sapien gets laid. The movie.
Yes. Laid Sapien. Which is probably what Guillermo del Toro is going to get tonight after winning 4 Oscars. I mean...
Laid Sapien?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's the episode title, Laid Sapien. I'm not sure.
Doug Jones got to keep the costume. Just be like, walk down the street.
Just walking in that fish costume. You know? People are just like, what the fuck?
Just go to the pool and just like swim around.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Chlorine.
All right, folks. Well, I think that's going to do it for the Oscars wrap-up show.
Yeah.
It's officially tomorrow.
It is officially. The JIC is now out 2 days ago.
I've already listened to it. I'm just kidding.
You have, probably, at this point. It's time tripping. But, all right, folks. Well, as always, check out Foodies Watching Movies on the Journey into Comics Network at journeyintocomics.com. You can get the Foodies Watching Movies podcast on all kinds of different social media, whether it's Facebook at Foodies Watching Movies or on Instagram, also Film Foodies on Twitter. And as always, you can get us on the Journey into Comics Network on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music Now, Spotify. Subscribe. It's real easy. Every day we post an episode from one of the 10 network shows, 9 of which are going to be on journeyintocomics.com, 1 of which is gameaddicts.com. Go to our Patreon. Give us $1, get early access to all 10 shows in one spot. As soon as they are edited, I put them up. And then, obviously, if you give us $3, you get all that Infinity War exclusive stuff we talked about earlier. And you don't want to forget that, because it helps us, it helps you. We're bringing exclusive content. We have some new shows planned that we can't wait to bring out, folks. And we're going to close this Foodies today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thanks again to everybody that's listening. I've been Nate.
I'm Veronica.
I'm Andrew.
Lauren.
And we will see you guys later. Shine up those Oscars real nice, folks.